Welcome to the Good Morning Africa show, the only way to start your day with top news stories, insightful conversations, and a whole lot to keep you informed. I am Yumina Bagudu. Now on the show today, we'll focus specially on hand hygiene as the world celebrates Global Hand Washing Day. A guest will be speaking to us on why clean hands are important. Don't miss the conversation. I Can Make It is on standby after this quick break. Stay with us.
All right, you are welcome. This is Simon and Samantha saying you can make it. I love you and thank you for always tuning into this program. And I want to let you know that God has a plan for your life. And I tell you, life will not give you what you deserve. Life will give you what you demand. You can make it today. Well, I started, if you have been following us, I started a long time and we're talking about life can only be understood backward but must believe forward. And one of the things I was talking about, the things we need to learn, with things we need to learn. And if you learn them, apply them, you will get the best of life. It was Isaac Newton that said, if I have seen above, it by shining on the shoulder of them that have gone ahead of me. You learn. Every day we learn from different things. So even spending time and you are looking at us on this broadcast tonight or today, you are learning. And I tell you something, we must just learn in life if we want to have the best of life. The next thing I will be sharing with you in this aspect of learning that we have taken upon ourselves to share with us, learn that it's not, the one I want to talk about today is that learn that you should learn to depend upon your own life. Don't wish to be like other people. Life is not competition. Like I said, life is turn by turn. Just know that it will get to your turn. It doesn't matter what is happening. God will get to your turn. And there's a place that said it will overturn and overturn until you come to the one which right it is. It will overturn it. Now, another thing I want us to learn, you should learn to not to depend on other people. Always learn to be self-dependent. Many times, a lot of disappointment comes from where you put your trust in people. A lot of people have often complained, oh, you thought this one will do. You are always thinking that this one will do for you. No, you just learn to be self-sufficient. Learn to be dependent on yourself. Trust God with what you have. Yes, people can help you, but don't put your hope in humans. They that trust them, those that put their trust in men, we habit the pasture in the wilderness. They will not see when good cometh. So don't put your confidence in man. Believe men, but don't put your confidence in him. Because the people you actually trust can forget. They can actually forget you. I remember there's this young man many years ago that was interpreting a dream, and he interpreted the dream of this man, and God helped the man, and the man was out of prison. But when the man had left, he forgot. Men will always forget. Men will forget. How many times God will set them up to also forget? Because you put your trust in man, you will get offended. They will forget. So it is also God that make them remember. So the best thing is to trust God. Believe man, trust God. Don't forget what I'm saying. Believe in man, but put your trust in God. If you put your trust in God, God is the only one that will not disappoint you. Always have to stand. Don't be, don't always have to stand on what you believe, and just continue, and I tell you, you will not be disappointed. Learn to be content with what you have. Learn to be content with what you have. It is said that godliness with contentment is great gain. Learn to be content with what you have. Contentment will make you get the best. Aspire for a greater thing, but be content with what you have. Be happy. Thank God for what you have. A lot of people today, they are not grateful because they are always looking at other people. Oh, this person have just done this. Oh, this person have just done this. But what about the things that God is doing with your life? Learn to be content. Learn to talk to yourself. Learn to thank God about what God has made available for you. Learn to appreciate him for the things that he has done in your life. Learn to appreciate him for the children you have. This same thing that you have that you are not happy about is what somebody is believing God for and trusting God for. For example, there are people today, they are not married, but you that are married, you don't have value for your marriage. There are people today, they are married, but they don't have children. But some have children, they neglect their children. You can see our children on our streets holding some plate and begging. Now, these are same people, they are paying huge amount of money for IVF so that they can have a child. Learn to appreciate what you have. But when you constantly look out and you are not appreciative of what you have, you will neglect, and at the end of the day, it will lead to regret. Learn to appreciate, be content with such as you have. Learn that everybody is equal. Don't wish to be like other people. God does not make mistake in creating you. Listen to me. Don't bother to begin to look like, want to be like this, you want to be like that. No. Want to be all that God has made you to be. And as you do that, you will know that there's a plan of God concerning your life. You are unique. You are a special species. God have created you with all that he has. And I want to let you know, learn to appreciate that who God has made you to be. You are a man of value, and I want to tell you, learn that every action there is an equal opportunity respond. Every action you take, there is an equal response to it. So when you take action, always know that there is going to be a consequence. Learn not to worry much, because worry will not solve any problem. Worry does not solve any problem. You see, somebody that worry is like what faith is. When you have faith, you trust God and believe on. When you worry, you have disbelief and you can't move on. Worry make you sweat. Even when you are not running, you are just a rocking chair, you are not making any progress. So learn not to worry. Be careful for nothing. And one of the things that will make you not to worry is learn to think positively. There is a book I wrote some years ago, Living Positive in a Negative World. Every time around you see negative news, negative this, negative that, and everything that surrounds us sound negative. But I want to tell you something. Don't worry. I let you know, worry cannot solve any problem. Worry cannot solve any problem. It is very important. So one of the ways to avert worry is to think positively. And what I will advise you today is that learn to think well. Think positively. Think of what is good. Think of what is lovely. Think of what is of good report. Think on good things. Take good thought. Be deliberate about your thought. Don't dwell on the things that you don't have. Don't dwell on those things that push you down. Don't dwell on the things that make you have depression. It's this worry that make people and most of the things we worry about never come to pass. And most times it's the thing this worry that make people go into committing suicide. Worry that make people, you already form a picture. The enemy already give you a picture in your mind. Oh, people will shame you. This is what is going to happen. I remember a young girl that worry and kill herself just last month here. Why? Commit suicide because a lecturer will always fail her. I tell you something. Those obstacles that the enemy has put on your way, they can become a stepping stone. I like this thing, the Bible verse that always say, all things work together for good to them that love God and to them that are called according to his purpose. I want to let you know today, you can make it. Put worry aside. Worry does not help anybody. Worry will make you depressed. Worry will not bring out the best. Learn to put words into action. It's very important. Learn to put words into action, because a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Learn. Don't stop worrying. Put your word, put action to your word. A lot of us, we take note, we hear, you are listening to me right now, you are hearing, you don't act on it. And until you act on it, you are like a man that doctor said, if you eat this food, you will not die. And they told you have just 3 minutes to live, or 5 or 10 minutes or 15 minutes to live. But they gave you food and said, eat this food now, and you will not die. You say, oh, I believe that if I eat this food, I will not die. I tell you something, the food can be in your front. If you don't eat it within the time stipulated, you can die, even with everything to help you in front. That is how worry is. Let's cast away worry. Let's believe God and trust him for the best of our life. It doesn't matter the economic situation we find ourselves today. I tell you something, no matter the economy of the jungle, lion does not eat grass. I tell you, lion doesn't eat grass, and I want to tell you, you can make it, you can succeed. Always know the word impossibility is not part of God's plan. It doesn't matter. That word impossible is just impossible to you, but with God, all things are possible. Let's drop away worry today. And one last word I will want to tell you this month, this day before I leave the studio is the worst prison in this, the word prison in this world is a home without peace. So as much as you can, live in peace with all men, with your wife, your husband, with your colleagues in your office. Live in peace. The worst prison in this world is a home or a place of work without peace. Be careful who you marry. Be careful who you marry. All fail, before you fall in love. All failed marriage start from not understanding how you love to, dwell together with wisdom and knowledge. So be careful. The worst prison in this world is a place where there is no peace. I want to say we love you, and until I see you again in our next edition, this is Simon and Semota saying, you can make it. God bless you. Thank you for being a part of this edition.
So to begin the show, October 15th of every year is Global Hand Washing Day, and a perfect time to remember that something as simple as washing our hands with soap and clean water remains one of the most effective ways to prevent diseases and save lives. This year's theme for Global Hand Washing Day is why are clean hands still important? The answer lies in the fact that clean hands continue to be our frontline defense against the spread of infections, illnesses, and harmful germs, whether in households, hospitals, schools, or workplace. Hand washing with soap and water plays a critical role in creating safer environment and better health outcome. Dr. Adeshida Adewumi, the Deputy Controller of Custom Medical Unit and also a consultant family physician with a specialty in family medicine, will be speaking to us on hand hygiene. Thank you so much, Dr. Adeshida, for joining us today on the Good Morning Africa show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So first things first, let's talk about what exactly is hand hygiene.
Hand hygiene is equally the same as hand washing. Basically, is keeping our hands clean, keeping them clean from infection, seen and unseen. Your hand can be physically dirty, and sometimes your hands may look clean, but there are a lot of microorganisms in the hands that you can't even see. And a lot of people think once they look at their hands and they can't see anything visibly dirty or something, their hands are clean. No, that is the importance of what we are discussing today, hand washing. Until you wash your hand with soap and under a running water, that is the only time you can ascertain that your hands are clean. So basically, hand hygiene or hand washing is to keep our hands clean from microbes that can cause infection for us.
Okay, thank you so much for that enlightenment. So as we celebrate Global Hand Washing Day, the 2024 theme for this year is why are clean hands still important? A lot of people still don't understand when they say wash your hands. I remembered when the whole COVID-19 thing started, a lot of people were forced to wash their hands. And I was having a conversation with someone. I said, it's not just because we're in the COVID era people should know or learn how to wash their hands. It is only very hygienic for you to know that your hands, you touch a lot of things, you get in contact with a lot of things. So it's very, very important that our hands are clean at all times. So let's hear from you, a professional. Importance of hand washing. Why is hand washing important?
Yes, hand washing is the cheapest and most is the cheapest and most helpful preventive tool that we have in medical in healthcare system.
Okay.
It's very cheap.
Okay.
It's just running water and soap that you need, and this can save a whole lot of things. You know, the saving starts from individuals. It can save you, and it can also save others. It can save others from giving you disease or infection, and it can also save you from giving others disease or infection. It can save a family, it can save a community, it can save a nation, it can save the continent, it can save the whole world. And I'm happy that you mentioned one of these scenarios. One of the things that got us out of COVID-19 is hand washing. One of the major things, as cheap as it is, got us out of COVID-19, as big as the pandemic is. That's to tell you how important hand washing is. Now, what are the various ways that hand washing can save us or is important? It can save you from infecting yourself, because you know we go around every day. So many times we sneeze into our hand, we blow our nose with our bare hands, we cough into our hands. All these are microbes, all these are microorganisms that if you use it to touch your eyes, use it to touch your mouth or touch something and take it in, all this can cause infection for you. This saves you. Many times we go into the toilet, we use toilets either to pee or to poo. We come out of that place. Sometimes many people don't wash their hand. Do you know the amount of microorganisms in the restroom that you've maybe touched or you've carried in your hands? If you wash your hand, this will save you of all these infections. And a lot of times when you get infected, you can easily give it to the family. You can even give it to the community. It can lead to an outbreak. It can lead to, you know, a whole nation coming down with infection. It can lead to a whole continent, a whole world coming down with infection. And this can affect a lot of other things. Respiratory tract infection, food poisoning, stooling, vomiting, a lot of other diseases. The people can die. There are a lot of people. You know how many people died during COVID-19 just through respiratory tract infection and all those things. Apart from this, a lot of productivity can be lost. If I'm sick, I can't be at work.
Of course.
So, and other people can be infected at work if I go there, and then the scale continues. Apart from this, it can lead to a lot of money being lost. Do you know how many jobs were lost during COVID-19? Just because of something we can prevent, even through hand washing. Then a lot of money can be lost in the sense that how many nations of the world were affected during COVID-19, and you see the amount of money lost during COVID-19. So hand washing can prevent all this. It can save the whole world. So it's just too important. Even in healthcare system, okay, that reminds me to maybe differentiate between this. You know, this hand washing is actually celebrated twice in a year. Yes, May 5 is for the healthcare workers, while October 15 tomorrow is for the whole world to be sensitized. You know,
today.
Today.
It is recorded here.
Okay, today is for the whole world to be sensitized, especially the importance of this over the children. You know, the children are a lot of children under 5, because their immune system is not too strong.
Yes, I was going to come to that, Dr. Adeshida. We're going to, specially look at hand washing for children, because just like you rightly said, their immune system is still, very tender, and there's every possibility that they can contact diseases because they play around, they touch things. They are not like adults that, are a bit cautious about what they do. So we're going to come to that. Just hold your thoughts on that. So let us look at how and when should people wash their hands, because people really don't know how and when they should wash their hands.
That is, a lot of people, when they hear of hand washing, people thought it's just to get water and just pour it on your hand, then get soap, and then you've washed your hand. No, there is step by step of how you should wash your hand, that it will be very clean. You know, these are our hands, there are a lot of compartments in the hand, the fingers, the nails, and all those things. So there is a way you wash it that infection will not have a place to hide. And let me take us through the step by step. There are like 11 of them, 11 steps, and it's very simple. It's what we do on a daily basis. Okay, take a look at this. I'm in the house. I want to wash my hand. We have a running water. Two things are important in washing hand. The water must be running, and there must be a soap. Just putting your hand under running water and then you do like this, you've not done hand washing properly. Then just using soap to, you know, there are two types of soap. We have solid soap, we have liquid soap. Liquid soap is encouraged. The reason is that if you use solid soap can even have infection. You know, when a solid soap, imagine a public place, you put a solid soap, everybody rub hand on it, and they wash their hand and leave. Itself can get, yes, a lot of microorganisms on it. So
preferably liquid soap.
Exactly, liquid soap that you can press, that once I get it on my hand, any other person coming can press also and get on their hand. Nice. So we don't have to be rubbing and rubbing. So we prefer liquid soap, and the water must be running in the sense that it's washing away the infections. I'm washing it not inside the bowl, and everybody is washing inside the bowl. We are washing the microorganism inside the bowl. All of us are coming. I will carry infection from the bowl again and go to my house.
Possible times 2 of
what I even came to wash inside. So it's always good to have a running water that will be washing my own away. As another person is coming, you wash that person's own away. So when you get that, that's the first thing. You put your hand under the running water to wet your hand. That is step 1. When you have wet your hand, then you press the soap. Press the soap into your hand. That is step 2. The liquid soap is in your hand. Then step 3. Rub it on your hand. You can see what I'm doing. Just rub that liquid soap on your hand. That's step 3. Then step 4. Then put your hands. You can put the right on the left. See how my hand enters into each other. Exactly. Then you wash like this. You continue to do like this. Then step 5. I bring this over this. This helps me to wash the intervals of my fingers. Yes. As I'm doing like this, I'm washing the interval of my 2 fingers. So when you have done this, then come back and do the same thing palm to palm. That's stage 6. I do like this. When I've washed like this, you know, the back of my fingers needs to be washed. So what do? I'll press it like this and press this like this and hook them into each other. Then I will wash this. Yes. Then 7, I'll do the same thing and wash the back of my fingers. So when I've done that, then what I will do next, then my thumb. Yes, I wash my thumb, because all this while the thumb is not involved. Then 9, I wash the other thumb. Then under my fingernails, there may be things there. Then I will wash it too. Then I wash it too. Then I will put my hand under the running water so that I can rinse my hand. Then I will dry my hand. Now, there are some things that are said to be taken care of when you are washing your hand. Ideally, I'm not supposed to wash my hand with my ring there. Because under my ring, after doing all these 11 steps that I've described, if I'm wearing my ring, it may keep some infection. I've not done a thorough hand washing. Then if you have your fingernails fixed, like yours. Yes,
like mine.
If you want to wash your hand, it may be a little bit difficult to have a good, ideal hand washing. So it's encouraged that if possible, if those things can be removed. But if it's not possible, then that means you have to do extra work or washing under those fixed nails. So when you have done this, good.
I love the fact that we're having this conversation today, you know, to enlighten and educate the viewers out there that washing your hands is very, very important. And I love how you carefully stated the steps by demonstrating it so that people know that it's not just going to the tap, pressing the liquid on your hands, and then you see most people just rub sharply, rinse, and then they are off. Not knowing that.
To the toe, to the situations that we have to wash our hands, there are so many. Let me tell you at least like 20 of them.
Wow.
There are so many. Number 1, when you sneeze into your hand, a lot of us sneeze into our hand. Ideally, we are supposed to sneeze into our elbow. This is what we do during COVID-19, but
Yeah.
we've all forgotten. So it's a reflex. You want to sneeze, you sneeze into your hand. The hand is already contaminated with infection. You touch somebody else with that, you've transferred infection to the person. So that's number one. Number two, when you blow your nose, you know, a lot of us we use our hand to blow our nose. Some we blow it into handkerchief and keep the handkerchief inside our pockets. Some we blow it into the tissue and just throw it anywhere. Either of all this, any one you do, make sure you wash your hand after that. That's second situation that you should wash your hand. Then when you cough, there's a difference between sneezing into your hand and coughing into your hand. A lot of us still cough into our hand. Everything still going to the hand. And that same hand you use it to touch people. That's number three. Number four, when you use toilet, even if it's just to wee, still clean yourself. Because as you are cleaning, as you are doing that, that you are carrying out that, a lot of microorganisms are inside our urine. The toilet you use, a lot of microorganisms are there. So in the process of peeing, somebody just say, I did not poo now. It's just ordinary wee. You just quickly do it and come out. No, wash your hand after you have done that one. That's number four. Then when you go to work, you know, on our way to work, a lot of us, we touch a lot of things. We are climbing staircase at work, we touch the rail. Then maybe at work, you are working with your colleague, like your laptop. Oh, can I quickly use your laptop? I don't know where your hand has touched. I carry your laptop, I use it, I returned it. We are just transferring infection. So when I finish all those things, I carry file. Some file are brought out of a... I don't know where has been there. And then you carry it in work, you do all those things, and then you come home like that. You need to wash your hand after you have done all those things. Number six, a lot of people go to market. You know, wives, they'll go, they say, how much is this meat? How much is this one? You touch a lot of surfaces, a lot of raw meat, raw products. COVID-19 came from that. Before you know what is happening, transfer to the nose or transfer to the mouth or to the eyes, then problem starts. So you need to wash your hand after coming back from work or you are coming back from the market. Then before you cook, do a thorough hand washing the way I've described. After cooking, still wash your hand. Then before eating, wash your hand. Then after eating, wash your hand. Then are you the kind of person that you do house chore? The housewives, yes, you know, you are cleaning the toilet, you clean the bathroom, you clean the kitchen, you clean everywhere. In the process of doing all this cleaning, you've carried a lot of infections in your hand. You need to also wash your hand after finishing your house chores. Apart from this, you have a small garden at the back of your house. There is a need for you to, once you finish gardening, even that, you will see your hand soiled with visible this thing. Wash, go and wash your hand. Then, apart from this, you have a sick person in the house. Somebody has come down with a flu in the house, or you have gone to the hospital to greet somebody. As you come back home, wash your hand. In the house, you have contact with that sick person, wash your hand. Maybe you are a mother, your child is playing around, and then has a cut. Then you have touched the blood. And then like that, it's my son, it's my child. Wash your hand. Doesn't matter. Wash your hand. Apart from this, maybe you have a small child. You need to change the nappy. Wash your hand after changing it. You toilet for your child as a mother. Okay, let me quickly wash the bum. You did all those things, and then you didn't bother to wash your hand. Wash your hand after you have done that. Then apart from that, maybe there are some special situations that maybe you have a contact lens. You know, some people use contact lens. Yes. They just carry it and then put it in your eyes with a dirty hand. You will just, it can lead to blindness because you can infect your eyes with infection from that dirtiness of hand that you use, and then the contact lens will develop infection and you can go blind from there.
Wow.
So there is a need for you to wash your hand before putting your contact lens. Exactly. Okay. Then some people have used the elevator. You know that button in the elevator? Do you know how many people have pressed that button in a day? Maybe you are the number 100 for that day, and then you rub it again, and then you go and nothing. No. Wash your hand after you have used elevator. At least maybe your place of work has an elevator. Wash your hand. So these are various situations,
Okay, so Dr. Adeshida, there's this question that has been bothering me for a while now concerning hand hygiene. Yeah, we know that we go to places on a normal, you're always very busy. Sometimes you forget to do these things because we're not brought up or we're not cultured to that way to always wash our hands. We as Nigerians started washing our hands since COVID came on. You know, Nigerians now, is what they hear that will drive this thing away. Everybody will, you know, put their attention there. Now we have sanitizers, we have disinfectant wipes. In cases whereby one cannot, you know, wash their hands when they are out, can they have those things as substitutes?
Yes, it's especially the sanitizer.
Okay.
And we have a recommendation for that. There are requirements. Any sanitizer that sanitizer cannot completely replace water and soap, running water and soap. The reason why I say so is that, when your hand is physically soiled, let's say I have dirt in my hand like this, even if I pour sanitizer in that hand, it can't clean off the dirt first. So that's where the water comes in. But like you said, let's say maybe you are lucky not to have your hand soiled, maybe dirty with a oil and all those things. If you pour sanitizer on a oily hand, dirty hand, sanitizer cannot clean that. That's where water is important. But in a situation that your hand is still relatively clean, it's just to remove the unseen microorganisms. You can use sanitizer. But the sanitizer recommended is that the alcohol inside our sanitizer must not be less than 60%. That is when it can clean off the microorganisms. Anything less than that, some of the microorganisms can still survive. So there is a need for you to use the recommended sanitizer. Once that is done, the wipe it may not really do the job the way we want it to be done. So the best is running water with liquid soap or sanitizer with at least 60% of alcohol ethanol.
Thank you so much, Dr. Adeshida, for that educative and also explanatory method in which people can wash their hands properly. So when we're going to go on a quick break, a short break now. When we come back, we're going to look at hand washing in children, because today is Global Hand Washing Day. We need to sensitize the viewers out there. So viewers, will go on a short break, and there's a video to teach you how to wash your hands properly. We'll be back shortly.
How to wash your hands properly. You've got clean hands.
TV Africa, your first in housing development broadcasting.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Good Morning Africa show on Housing TV Africa, still celebrating Global Hand Washing Day. Why are clean hands still important? Before we went on a quick break, or rather before we went on a short break, we're having a conversation with Dr. Adeshida concerning why it is very, very important for people to wash their hands and practice hand hygiene. Now, Dr. Adeshida, we're going to come to children and hand washing. You know, while we're having this conversation, you made a very valid point concerning children having, you know, very fragile immune system. But, you know, children will always be children. They play a lot, you know, even in schools when their parents are not with them, even when they're playing around the house. So how can parents inculcate hand washing into their children?
Thank you very much. You know, most children, they learn by imitation. That's the major way of a child wants to. It's new here, it's new in the world, it's new in the environment. So they practically do whatever you do as parents. And you know, in school, this is where the teachers, the staff, all of them come into. They need to actually lay that good example. You know, if you go to some schools, running water and liquid soap is placed at the gates. Some are placed at the entrance of the classroom, which is highly commendable. And these teachers practice this in and out on daily basis. I mean, many times during the day, and the children are watching. So when they see this, you know, children on a normal day, they want to do what you are doing. So at home, if the parents are living up to the task, the teachers in school, they are living up to the task, be you primary school, secondary school, because these children, they are even the major reason why this hand washing celebration started. You know, when it was started by Global Hand Washing Partnership, you know, a lot of children were lost into respiratory tract infection and diarrhea disease, food poisoning. These are preventable. You know, it was discovered that, okay, just hand washing these children and the parents and the caretakers, caregivers can save these children. That was in 2001 when this thing was started, and the first one was marked in 2008 to sensitize and create awareness. You know, children, they will joyfully do it. Yeah. They love it. They will, in fact,
especially when it has to do with water.
Wow, they love to
play with water.
Exactly. So we encourage them by doing that, by teaching them, by telling them how important it is, and the method I've just shown you and we have shown in the video, as in they can learn that easily. And then the only precaution you need to take is this: when they are using sanitizer, you need to be careful as parents and as teachers, because children don't know the difference between water and sanitizer. To them, both are colorless. They can drink it. They can drink it, which is dangerous to their health. So that is the only time. So if they are using water, encourage them, be there with them, show them. In fact, I do that a lot at home. Any of my children, they have gone to the toilet, I will ask, have you washed your hand? They will say, no, Dad, let's go back. Then we start all over. I will do it with them. I will show them. I will pour the water. Show me how to rinse your hand. They will do all the jabba jabba, no problem. Do it like that. Yes. Tomorrow we go again, like that. All of them, they have already inculcated that into their habits. I've told them, every of this situation I've told you, I've taught my children. If they give you this, if you have finished eating, have you washed your hand? If you have done this, have you washed your hand? If you have touched dirty stuff, have you washed your hand? So with time, they are beginning to get used to it. That's children for you. They are willing to learn all the time. So we can make it work in them. They are not the problem. We, the adults, are the problem. We don't practice it. We don't do it. Right. Where will they learn it from? So it's to learn them, and they will imitate us, and they will start. Just be careful when it is sanitizer. In fact, that one I pour it in their hand myself. Stretch your hand, pin, pin, pin. Rub your hand this way, rub your hand this way, rub your hand this way, and they will do it. But if you give it to them and you leave them,
they would mess it up as the children that they are. Okay, so you spoke about you know, or rather, we know that now some modern schools, when you walk into their schools, the first thing you see at the gate side is a sink, a liquid soap, running water. Some schools also go as far as having this running water close to the playground where the children are playing, so that when they're done, it's easier for them to go there, wash their hands. But let's not forget the children in the rural areas, right? These children are also children, and they are prone to more diseases because of the environment that they live in, the things that they do, what they get in contact with. So how do you think that much sensitization can be spread across to the rural areas for those, both the people and the children, to know that, hey, hand washing is very important?
Yes, thank you very much. I'm happy that Global Hand Washing Partnership, they are doing a lot. You know, it's made up of several partners: US, USAID, World Bank, UNICEF, a lot of FHI 360, all of them. They've made provision financially and people-wise to enter into these rural areas. But that is the importance of a day like this, global hand washing, to create awareness. I mean, a lot is being done in the city, just like what you are doing now. But in the rural area, these people are providing assistance to make sure that awareness is created, is penetrated into all these rural areas. And then this is where I'm happy we have 3 tiers of government in Nigeria. We have the federal government, we have the state government, and we have the local government. So there is no single rural area that is not under a local government. And I'm happy with the president. He's doing a lot to make sure that the total of government has the freedom to execute their mandates. One of their mandates is health. The local government can take up this responsibility, spend a lot of money, raise people to go into these rural areas, create awareness, teach them the importance of hand washing, how it can save the children. Because I won't lie to you, a lot of children that die of respiratory tract infection, food poisoning, diarrhea disease, they are in the rural area. We have almost 70% of the population in the rural area. So the children that we even need to reach, like you said, they are even more in the rural area. So there is a lot to do more. The state government should do the same thing. We have the health components of the state government, the health commissioner and so on. The same thing with the minister of health. The federal government should do their own. By the time all these double up, then there are some non-governmental organizations that have taken up this role. So they too, FHI is almost every country. So they too have taken up this role. The global hand washing day is their baby project. So these are all the things that we can do to make sure that this message percolates into the local areas. And all the children, I tell you, they are not the problem. We are the problem. They will take it all with joy and happiness, and even teach their friends when they get home.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, and even teach their teachers if their teachers are
Yes,
found
they will
wanting
remind
that.
even the teacher that, Mommy, uncle, you have not washed your hands.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Adeshida, we have a video here to educate the children now. You know, we're done with the adults. We have a video here for the children. Please take a watch.
Hey kids! Wash your hands for 20 seconds to stop germs from spreading. 20 seconds is the same time it takes to sing the happy birthday song 2 times in a row. On your mark, get set, wash! Wet your hands with warm water. Now use soap and make lots of bubbles. Wash the front and back of your hands. Great job! Don't forget to wash between your fingers. You can do it. Now rinse and dry your hands really, really well. Hooray! And now you're hand-washing heroes.
It's very important that parents, guardians, words, try as much as possible to teach your children how to wash their hands properly. Just like what Dr. Adeshida said, children will be so excited to do whatever we adults are doing. So it's a very good opportunity for us to encourage them and do the right thing. So before we go, Dr. Adeshida, what advice will you give out there to parents, to individuals, to everybody? Because today is Global Hand Washing Day, and like we said, it's very important. So why, if you're being asked to, give out as a professional, what advice would you give out to people out there?
Yeah, just in summary, everything we've been saying, that is the advice I'm going to give out to the parents, to all the stakeholders, parents, governments, NGOs, teachers, healthcare workers, all of us. We are stakeholders in this, and this is one singular cheap, very cheap, so cheap that it can save us enormous resources. It can save our children from diseases and deaths. It can save the adults from disease and death. It can save the country from outbreak. Pandemic for the whole world can be saved by just ordinary hand washing. Can we see? So prevention is always better than cure. So I'm appealing to everybody out there watching this program. Please do your own part. Let today remind you that hand washing is the cheapest preventive tool that we have, and the most useful in even in healthcare setting. In every setting, in every country, in the whole world, very cheap. Just get liquid soap, get the water, let's keep washing. Let's keep washing. Okay, that reminds me. Some people said, is there not an effect for maybe if you wash too much? Yes, I must chip in that one. Okay. Yes, there can be side effects. If you all these scenarios I've created, if you wash your hand, but there is a solution to it. If you wash your hands so much, at the end of the day, you may wash away the oily parts of your skin. which can make the skin to be dry, and then it can be prone to maybe some breaks, and some it can even lead to infection also. So what you need to do is simple. Once you wash your hand, have a small bottle of moisturizer in your in your pocket. So when you finish washing like that and drying your hand, just moisturize, just, and then you are good. So that's not an excuse not to wash. Let's keep washing.
I like that. Let's keep washing. Let's wash away dirt. Let's wash away diseases. Let's wash away illness. And just like Dr. Adeshida said, hand washing is the cheapest, I'm still going to re-emphasize that, the cheapest way to drive away diseases from both adults and children. Thank you so much, Dr. Adeshida, for coming today and for sharing your wealth of experience. It's Global Hand Washing Day. Why are clean hands still important? Well, you've heard it all from today's episode of the Good Morning Africa show. It is very, very important and very necessary to keep your hands clean. On this note, we'll call it a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Have a blessed day. I am Yumuna Bagudu. Bye for now.